Hello and welcome back to the Dante in a Year podcast. My name is Danny Fitzpatrick. We are coming very close to the end of our journey through Paradiso as we continue with Paradiso Canto 30. Some 6,000 miles distant, there burns the 6th hour, and now this world inclines its shadow as to a plain bed, when the midst of the sky deep above us begins to be such that each star loses its appearance in this deep. And as the clearest handmaid of the sun comes higher above, so the sky closes itself, view by view, up to the most lovely. Not otherwise the triumph that plays ever about the point that conquered me, appearing closed by that which it encloses, was extinguished bit by bit in my sight, so that love and seeing nothing constrained me to turn with my eyes to Beatrice. If as much as is said of her to hear were all concluded in one praise, it would be little against what's owed. The beauty which I saw surpasses not only our thinking here, but surely I believe that only its maker enjoys it all. I conceit myself conquered at this pass more than any comic or tragic poet ever was surpassed by a point of his theme. For, as sun in the sight that most trembles, so the remembrance of that sweet smile bleeds my mind of myself. From the first day that I saw her visage in this life, up to this vista, my following her in my song hasn't been cut off. But now my suit must cease, passing after her beauty in poetry, as each artist at his end. So I leave her to a better band than that of my music, which leads its arduous matter to its end. With the attitude and voice of an expeditious leader, she began again. We have issued from the greater body to the heaven that is pure light. Intellectual light, replete with love, love of true good, filled with happiness, happiness that transcends each sweetness. Here you'll see the one and the other militia of paradise, and the one in those aspects that you'll see in the ultimate justice. As the sudden lamp that dispels the spirit of sight, such that it deprives the eye of the act of strongest objects, so a living light shone surrounding me, and it left me fastened in such a veil of its refulgence that nothing appeared to me. The love that quiets this heaven ever gathers in itself with such welcome as to dispose the candle for its flame. No more swiftly had these brief words come within me than I found myself to have surmounted my own powers, and such a novel vision was kindled in me that no light is so clear that my eyes would not have borne it, and I saw light in the form of a river, fulvid with refulgence, between two banks painted of marvelous spring. Of such fuming issued vivid sparks, and on every side they set themselves in flowers, as rubies circumscribed of gold. Then, as inebriate of odors, they plunged themselves again into the wondrous surge, and as one entered, another issued forth. The lofty desire that now inflames and urges you to take notice of that which you see, so much more pleases me the more it swells. But it's needed that you drink of this water, before that thirst so great may be sated. So the sun of my eyes said to me. And she had joined, the fume and the topazes that enter and exit, and the smiling of the grasses are shadow-born prefaces of their truth. Not that these things are bitter in themselves, but the defect is on your part, which hasn't yet sight so superb. There is no infant who so swiftly rushes with his face toward the milk, if he awakens later than he's used to, than I rushed to make better mirrors yet of my eyes, inclining myself to the waves derived for our being made better. And just as the eaves of my eyelids drank of it, so it appeared to me to have become a round of its length. Then, as people below masks, who appear other than before, if divested of the semblances not theirs in which they disappeared, so the flowers and the sparks were changed into a greater feast, such that I saw both the courts of heaven manifest. O splendor of God, through which I saw the lofty triumph of the true realm, give me power to say as I saw. There above is a light that makes visible the Creator to the creature that has its peace solely in seeing him. It spread itself in a circular figure, so broad that its circumference would be too large a cincture for the sun. All the appearance of its ray falls reflected from the summit of the primum mobile, which takes its life and potency from there. And as a cliff mirrors itself in water at its foot, as if in seeing itself adorned, when in the prime of its verdure and its flourishing, so, standing above the light round and round, I saw mirrored on more than 1,000 thresholds, as many of us as have returned there above. And if the least grade gathers in itself so grand a light, how great is the vastness of this rose in its utmost foliage! My vision wasn't bleared in the breadth and exaltation, but all apprehended the span and the quality of that happiness. Proximity and distance neither add there nor lighten, for where God governs unmediated, the natural law binds nothing. In the yellow of the sempiternal rose, which soars, dilates, breathes forth the odor of praise to the sun which ever brings spring, as is he who's silent and wills to speak, Beatrice drew me, and she said, "Marvel on the vastness of the convent of the White Stoles. See our city, how great its gyre. See our ranks so replete, where few people more are desired. And in that great seat to which your eye is drawn by the crown that's already placed upon it, before you feast at these nuptials, the soul of high Henry will sit, he who shall be august below, who will attempt to direct Italy before she's been disposed. The blind cupidity which curses you has made you similar to the infant who dies of hunger and casts away the breast. And then such a man will be prefect in the divine forum, who'll not go the one way with him by day and cover of dark. But then he'll be suffered but a moment in his holy office by God, for he will be thrust out there where Simon Magus is for his merit, and make him of Anagni enter more deeply. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Dante in a Year podcast. See you next time for Dante's Paradiso, Canto 31.